Good morning,
Good
everybody. Happy
morning.
Good
Wednesday.
morning.
Oh,
So we got
coffee.
Celina today.
Celina, Essence of the Moon. Her
Essence
channel will
of
be
the
linked
Moon.
down below.
Good morning, everyone.
I'm with my grandbabies this morning, so I'm gonna be, taking care of them while we're chatting. But they're good.
You're
Doing the
fine.
grandma thing.
What's that?
Yeah, doing the grandma thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So you are on a trip right now.
I am.
Where did you go?
So I am in Houston, Texas right now, visiting my best friend. I'm visiting my son who also lives out here and enjoying this really nice weather. And we went to the rodeo. So I was in the rodeo on Monday wearing my cowboy boots. We went to a concert and sat at the wine garden and people watched and all of that fun stuff. So it was
Looking
nice
at all
to get
the
away.
cowboys and cowgirls
Yep.
and the fancy chaps, and I love all that.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of cowboys. I didn't find Rip Wheeler, so that was disappointing.
Who is that?
He's
I
from
don't know.
Yellowstone, Beth Dutton and Rip Wheeler. I didn't find Rip.
Oh, yes. Oh.
I have to look into that. I haven't watched that yet.
No.
That'll be a good thing to know.
Oh, you need to
That'll
watch
be a good thing
Yellowstone.
to watch. No,
You need to
well,
watch
just
it.
watch anything that doesn't blow up. So
It's so
Yeah,
good.
let Grandma sit down.
that,
You let Grandma sit
that'll
down.
be a good, relaxing show to watch. I'll fall
So good.
asleep, but it's fine.
I love
Yeah.
Yellowstone.
Me too.
Oh, that's
And then there's
fun.
that 1923s coming out soon. Or I think it already did. Then there's
Yeah,
a new
we've been watching
season.
that one too. Yes. Oh.
And then there's the 18, whatever the other one is. It's really good.
Sonia's here. Hi, Sonia. Welcome in.
Hi,
Hi,
Sonia.
Sonia.
Sorry, I'm not my bubbly self.
You're fine.
Yeah, absolutely. It's understandable.
I'm working
Yeah.
on it. Oh,
Well, hi. We got a couple
Hi,
of
Ange.
people.
Oh, hi, Rochelle.
Ange is in.
Hi, Ange and Sissy.
Hey.
Yeah,
Oh, that's good.
that's
Yeah, Sonia said
real-
she's been watching all of those. It's really good, Debbie. You have to watch Yellowstone.
It is really good.
Yeah.
Oh, I will. I'm planning after my telehealth appointment today. I'm planning on just going up and snuggling with the dogs, and yeah, so that'll give me a great series to watch.
Yep, a cup of tea and a blanket.
Yes, yes.
Sounds
Oh,
good.
and crochet. I've been doing a lot of crochet.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Because you sell those on your Ko-fi shop, don't you?
I took them all down only
Okay.
because it's a humongous pain in the butt to photograph them all and put the dimensions. And I want to do like a grab bag of like 5 for $20 or something. You know what I mean? Like something easier,
Yeah,
especially right this second.
yeah.
I can get picky about it later.
You're right, Rochelle. Spencer from 1923.
Oh, yeah.
Is he the one that's on the boat, sis? Trying to remember.
Yeah, so that's where I think it left off with him on the boat with that girl that he was coming
Mhm.
bringing back home.
Yeah.
They were
He
in
was on
Africa.
another-
Yeah,
was
they
on-
were in Africa. You need to watch these, Debbie. They're so good.
I know. I wrote it down just in case it leaves my brain.
Yeah, and then like Tim McGraw is in the 18 whatever that one is.
Oh, really?
Tim McGraw
that's
and his
right.
wife are both in it.
Really?
These are
Oh my
spin-offs
goodness.
of
I looked into
Yellowstone,
that.
right? They're all
Yeah.
spin-offs of the main
Yeah.
one.
Yep,
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
All right.
1883. Thanks, Rochelle.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, and yeah, Faith Hill and their daughter, who plays their daughter in that show, is a phenomenal actress.
Oh, I haven't watched any
Yeah.
of that yet.
You have. They're so good, so good.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to definitely.
Sam Elliott.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. I forgot he was
I
in
love
that.
Sam
He-
Elliott.
Yeah, he's in that. Yeah, Sam
I love
Elliott's
his
a really good
voice
actor.
too.
Could be
Yeah.
husband number 5, just on the
Yeah.
QT.
Yeah. Oh, I
So
Dumb.
good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just thinking of Sam Elliott.
I mean, I loved him in Gettysburg when he played Gettysburg.
I
Wasn't
love
that?
him.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was good. I love that
I
time
didn't see
period.
that one.
me too. That's such a good time period. Such a historical time place. You know, just
Yeah, we should make a Sam Elliott deck.
Yeah.
Who would be
you're right,
nice?
Sonia. Her voice is really good. She plays the daughter in that 1883 show, and it is I do love her narrating that whole show.
Hi, Courtney. Courtney's here too. Right on.
Oh, hi, Courtney. I want to let Courtney know that Lilith took my last tea bag.
Oh,
I have my last cup right here, and she took the other tea bag. So, yeah, rude.
Is that mugwort and
Yeah.
lavender I just saw?
No, I saw this on Ivy the Occultist channel like last year at Yule,
Oh,
and it's the one that turns colors when you put lemon in it.
oh, like the
I
blue,
got-
the blue,
Yeah,
the blue
it's so
pea,
fun.
or
It's green tea with violet and lemongrass. Yeah, so it's the violet, I think, that changes. But yeah, so she was rude and took my last one. So I'm enjoying at least a cup of it before.
oh, nice.
I bet it tastes good. Did you put
Yeah.
lemon in it?
No, I didn't want to venture back up the stairs.
Yeah, well, I don't blame you there.
I have all sorts of crafty things around me. You should see my studio right now. It's a mess.
Yeah.
But now I can catch up on all your videos. I
Excellent.
watched your haul video, Celina.
Mm-hmm.
I just watched your haul video. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Your cat, what was it?
Cat full of
Christina
spiders.
Ricci?
Yeah, Christina Ricci.
Yeah.
I happened to come across that when I was in Savannah on my vacation, and I'm like, this deck is amazing. It just came out in October, and I saw a couple people who did do videos for it. So I looked at the videos before purchasing, because I do rely on walkthroughs when I'm making purchases,
I do too.
Yes.
because I want to see what these cards look like. So I did look through some people's videos, and then I decided to go ahead and buy it.
Oh, good.
But it's such a pretty deck, and it's from Inside Edition. So they have that really, it's more of a stiffer cardstock, but it still has really pretty images.
I have some catching up to do. I got
to shuffle.
I know. Videos to watch too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't wait to see it.
And then I have an alien one that's releasing in like 3 days. It's like a Martian Oracle deck,
Fun.
and I loved it.
Right
I mean,
up
that
my
was
alley.
like, that was
Yeah, you girls
such,
love that.
that was such a good deck. And I did the spread that it asked me to, like, I did one of the spreads in the guidebook, and it was spot on. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
One of my, I'm going to put that deck in the hashtag that Rochelle just did this morning for the 11 decks.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I was
I
through that.
See, I have some catching up to do.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah.
Yeah. Rochelle just posted a video this morning, and it was the 11 decks that she loves. I can't remember the full hashtag, but
Yeah. Oh, I have it written.
because she's right. Because every time someone's asking me to do 10 decks, I have a hard time, because there's always 11 decks that I like. So I'm like trying to narrow it down, and I struggle. And she's so right. Yeah, there you go. Top 11 current favorite decks. Yeah.
Yep.
You're gonna have to wait, Bubby.
I make notes on my notes.
Yeah. So I always struggle when it's 10 decks, and I'm like, there's always 11 that I like.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she's so right. I'm like, I have to do this.
Yeah, it's like 10, and then
So my Martian one is going in it, because I just love that Martian Oracle deck.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So what made you start YouTube? Is it just like interaction?
No, I think they might be for your mom to.
So I've been wanting to start YouTube. It's probably been like a year.
Sorry. Oh no, how do I unmute her? Oh, here it is. Are you
Sorry about that. Ay, ay, ay. I think I
So
might have
funny.
been able to do that on my end. I
have no idea. I didn't know if I could or not. I can on Zoom because the kids, I knew how to find that back.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So anyway, why did you start YouTube? Was it to interact with other tarot tubers, or because you're witchy content too, right?
Yeah, it's more witchy content than tarot. I think it started off with tarot. I'm trying to find like what my niche is, and as much as I do love the tarot decks, I love my witchy content more. And I feel like I'm more of a witchy content creator. And I think the tarot decks and the oracle decks are just like a little sprinkling on the side, you know? It's not really, I mean, I don't feel it's my main thing. I feel like it's definitely more just like my side stuff. I do love the creating of my witchy stuff, of doing candles and rituals and you know, doing stuff like that. To me, I think just is a lot funner. I think decks are fine, but it's like, how many ways can you present the deck?
Right.
You know?
Yep. That's true.
And then how long can that video go if you're going through the whole tarot deck, because it has more cards in it than an oracle deck, so it takes longer. You know, I don't know. To me, it's just I definitely feel more connected to the witchy aspect than the tarot aspect. But that's okay. I mean, I think it's fine to have them both on there, and
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it gives you more opportunities to share about your life too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it's more.
Which I do. I mean, I do bring you guys along with me. So yeah, when I go anywhere, like when I went to Florida, I brought you guys on to the oddities place, and I took y'all to the beach with me and showed you guys that personal aspect of with being with my dog and my husband. So I'm still trying to find my little niche here and what it is that I'm putting out there, because I feel like it's just a variety of stuff. It's like the Celina variety show.
Right.
You know?
I know. That's what makes it fun though.
Yeah. So I'm trying to still figure that all out. And I mean, I've only been on since literally the end of December, like the 27th, maybe 28th.
Yeah.
So it's only been 2.5 months, maybe.
Did you just hit your head?
Are you okay? Yeah.
We're a mess right now.
Well, it is retrograde. I'm just gonna say that out loud.
It is.
It never bothers me, but it bothers other people. Retrograde never bothers me. So I think Rochelle and I had a conversation about that. I'm like, it never bothers me. But then Rochelle's like, well, you were also born in a retrograde, Mercury retrograde. And then she said, it's kind of like what energy you put out there, that if it's bothering you, it's going to bother you. So I don't even let it bother me.
I try not to think about it.
No.
Until you just
But some people, you see people and you're like, yeah, they're definitely going through it.
No, I know. Yeah. Oh, hello, barefoot. I can't remember. My brain's not working. I can't remember your name.
Darla.
Oh,
Darla. Yeah.
You have a Darla. Oh, and now I remember. I have two associations now.
I know. Rochelle said it's where we put focus on is what changes our reality. So it's the same thing when I thought I was a Libra, and then I did the sidereal with Rochelle. She's like, no, you're a Virgo. You're a hardcore Virgo. She's like, you have like I don't know. I think I had like 6 in Virgo.
Wow.
6 in Virgo, and there were like majority of them were all in the 12th house.
Oh, wow.
Like I'm like very left side heavy. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So I totally relate to now being the Virgo than I do the Libra, although I do have a Libra rising. So I kind of understand why I felt I was a Libra, because the rising's there. But I definitely relate more to that sidereal aspect of astrology than Western astrology. Like to me, it was like spot on.
Same.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely relate more to my new one. It's Gemini.
I see a lot of
Gemini.
Cancer with you, but I also think that, you're always thinking, you're always contributing,
Always thinking.
yeah. So
So
I
Angie
feel
said
that.
she's a Virgo and Western and Leo and sidereal, and she embraces both. That's a nice way to say that,
Oh, that's
Yes,
Ange.
good.
I agree. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Angie,
embrace
that's a good
both.
idea.
Yeah.
It's
And then
weird growing up.
Rochelle said Virgos are the witches of the zodiac for sure. I sure am.
Witchy. I love
Yeah.
witchy.
And like all my other past lives that I've had done, like I'm on like 12 past lives that I had been able to remember. And one was a male, but he was a Knights Templar, which is funny because my husband is a Freemason, so it's kind of funny that we find each other now. But then all the other 11 lives were all like witchy lives. Like I was like a mystic person. I had some other abilities between like herbology or healing. Like I had
Oh,
all of that
wow.
in all these other past lives. Yeah.
So that's a
So
consistent theme through all of them, that you're a healer and a mystic and
mhm.
a,
So I think
magical.
that's kind of what helped move me to do the YouTube, is because I wanted to be vocal about who I am now, and knowing that I can't be persecuted. I can't, I can't be unalived because
Hi,
of who I am, where I did on these past lives. I do remember, my I do remember when they did unalive me because of who I was. So I felt like
Oh,
now this is like my voice now, where I can be vocal in who I am and not feel like I'm
right,
going to have to wear a scarlet letter on my, on my jacket or anything.
right. So are you pretty open down where you are? Like where you live, is it safe to be kind of open about your
Well, I
witchcraft?
work from home, so I don't really do much outside of home. But like my in-laws live next door, and they're hardcore Catholics, but they're fine with who I am.
Okay,
They come
good.
in, they see my altars, and my mother-in-law is asking questions about my altar. Some of my family members know, not all of them. My sisters know, my brothers do not. I'm one of 9 kids. Yeah, so
wow. Is
That's a lot.
I'm
I
number
remember you
7.
said that. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
wow.
number 7. So there's 5
Yeah.
girls and 4 boys. The girls know, the boys do not. I think, well, the one does. He found out when I was in Florida. So he watched my
Oh,
YouTube channel, yeah.
hi,
And he
bro.
had questions, yeah. And he had questions, and my sister-in-law had questions, and I was, answering as much as I could, but he didn't like really
Nice.
feel weird about it. And the fact that he was asking questions made me feel better.
Yeah.
Yes,
Absolutely. Like he wanted to
I
know.
think
yep.
everybody knows of it now, so it's not like a what the hell is that?
Yeah.
When we were teenagers, it was like, what do you mean you're a witch? Like, and I still every once in a while will get like, oh, don't talk about yourself that way. It's like, no, you don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, I am a witch.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I feel like it's like,
Whatever.
to me, it's like, it's empowering to really put it out there and just let the world know who you are and not feel afraid anymore. Like that's the main thing, is not being afraid anymore.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's really going to be healing like your throat chakra and all your past lives. That's why when I did my self-love video and my self-love letter, the letter to myself,
That was
that's why I
Mhm.
put on there, I ended it with everybody in my past life, for that reason, that I wanted to help heal them as well.
right. Yeah, that ancestral. It's like
Mm-hmm.
an ancestral trauma that you drag with you, right?
Right.
Yep.
Or like, you could probably call it a generational thing as well.
True.
So
Yeah.
because there's still that thread that still connects you from the different past lives. It's still who you are now. So
Yeah, I would love to do like a panel of witches on like what you think that is all about. Like whether we have a soul family that we follow throughout lifetimes or whether it's different all the time, whether we can like be an animal or, different planet. I would love to do like a panel of that. I find that interesting.
So I feel like Darla, I think she was a human in a past life and she's now a dog. So I feel like she was in my past life as a human. And I think she's reincarnated now to be my dog in this life. The moment I met her and I looked into her eyes, I automatically knew she was not a normal dog. Like, she does not behave like one. She's extremely smart. She reasons. Like, it's just, she blows my mind all the time.
Yeah.
And every time I'm at my altar, like she sits with me at the altar every single time I'm doing anything. So you'll notice in videos, I'm like, okay, Darla's like biting at my ankles, and I'll talk about her because she wants to be involved in what I'm doing. So she's not, I mean, I feel like she definitely reincarnated as a dog in this life.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. I think so. That's familiars or whatever, you know, they're like aspects of us, I think, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, back to what you were talking about, like kind of like labeling ourselves as a witch or whatever. I've been noticing something like we can, like, we're many things and we can call ourselves many things and label ourselves many things. It's just that no matter what it is, if somebody has a problem with just one of those labels, it's like whatever that is, that's what they hone in on, instead of realizing that you are so many different things. It's just they hear the one thing they don't like, and that's what, like, oh, you're that. Well, no, I'm many things. Thank you.
And then I've seen like in other channels where like they're either like a green witch or a hearth witch or a celestial, like they'll give themselves these different specific labels, and I don't want to really do like a specific label, like down to the nitty-gritty part of it. I'm just going to do a general blanket witch because I feel like it encompasses so many more things, and I don't want to condense myself to that little part, you know, because I feel like I do a lot of different things. It's not just one thing. I don't just work with herbs. I work with the moon as well, and the different cycles and
crystals and
healing and just a bunch of different stuff. So you don't want to condense yourself to that little part of, oh, I'm just a green witch or I'm just a hearth witch or.
Yeah, I never understood that.
Yeah.
I hope that they don't focus their entire spiritual life on that one path though. Like I don't know anybody that labels themselves as one certain thing. So I don't know if that's a typical practice that they only do like witchcraft through herbalism or growing things. I don't know how that works. But I couldn't imagine being so stuck like on a certain path. That wouldn't be
Carla.
Her show must be over. I forget what she was watching.
Or she's singing.
I didn't know. Oh, she's singing?
Sometimes she sings too. That's she's nonverbal, so sometimes
sing away, girl.
It's kind of yelly like.
That's good.
She's excited.
Rochelle said labels are good for small talk, and I'm not one for small talk. I want to know everything, and that's me. I want to know everything. Like, and I feel like once I start picking up on certain things, like some of them come naturally to me, and I'm like, how the heck did this come natural to me? And then I go back to a past life to think about it. As a past life where I was someone who worked specifically with herbs, and I'm like, oh, that makes complete sense why I randomly just grabbed this herb, because I wouldn't have known what to do with it, but then I grabbed it for that specific spell that I'm doing, or love spell, and it makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
And I love that you do that you go back to a past life to find that information. It's like absolutely. If it's accessible, you know what I mean? If it's available, it makes a lot of sense.
Definitely.
We did one of the months, how we did self-love February. Sorry. My words got mixed up. Oh God, I'm gonna talk to the doctor. We blah, 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 blah.
You're fine.
Anyway, we just did the self-love February, and before I can't remember who did it, but we did past life month. It was through Rochelle's channel. I can't
Was it like
remember
in November, October? Is that
Yeah.
Rochelle?
Yeah, that was
Like it was
so
around
fun.
Samhain, I feel.
Yeah. Did you work through that too?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah. Did you work through that hashtag with us?
I did not know.
Oh no.
Mm-mm.
I didn't know if that's when you did past life.
I started doing past lives about probably about like 2 years ago. But I have a friend who lives really close to where I live, and she's a psychic, a medium. She does past life for like 20 years now with I think she studied under Brian Weiss, maybe. I think he's one of the past life guys.
Oh.
Yeah. So
name.
she would regress me, and then she has meditation regression videos that she has on her YouTube that I can listen to her guided meditations, and it does help me go back into a past life.
Oh, that's fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I have to have guided meditation. My ADD won't let me do like non-guided.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I have to fix my phone. I forgot. I turned off the ringer, but then I forgot to turn off everything else.
Oh, you're fine.
Oh my goodness. So, did you grow up with any sort of spirituality?
No.
None. Oh wow.
Yeah.
So
Catholic
like
parents.
Sleep.
Catholic parents. When we would go to Mexico on vacation, and we would go to the market, like say sometimes my mom and I, we would go into these like herbology, like their I don't know, I guess you'd call them like the local witch doctors. We'd go in there. So I remember like going into there with my mom, and then they would do like they'd do like a cleansing on me, and hit me with a bunch of herbs and do the eggs cleanse over me. And I didn't really fully comprehend it then, but my mom believed in it. She did that stuff. And like now that I'm older, and all the times I visited my grandma, she would do certain things that I was like, oh, that was very witchy. Like like my grandmother, I felt like she was a kitchen witch. Anytime anybody was sick, she knew exactly what to cook for you, and you were better. Like right after eating that, you were better. Like she knew exactly what you had to do to feel better.
Yeah.
So I feel now as I'm older and I can understand it, and I'm like, okay, I think she was definitely. And even now, like she's passed away 12 years ago now. She's been gone. She passed away right before Halloween, like the day before Halloween. And I flew to Mexico with my sister because my mom was already down there, and we went and buried her and everything. So I was down there for all of that stuff. But I still feel her around. Like I know she's there because anytime I'd visit her, she'd make a whole bunch of noise in the house, and I knew where she was at, where I could find her because of all the noise she was making. She does that now. She makes so much noise throughout the house, so I know where she's at because she's so loud, and she's always been so loud. She was a quiet person to talk to, but she was loud when doing things like rummaging through stuff or moving pots and pans around. You could hear that. So I know that she's there because of the noise she makes.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is awesome. Yeah.
Sometimes you don't know who it is because
I feel like it's her. Like I know it's
Yeah.
And even my kids, since I was a divorced mom and I was single, and I had 3 boys. Oh, she did a September past lives club. But when I was divorced and I would go to work, my kids would tell me, Mom, we saw Grandpa sitting at the top of the stairs, or we heard a bunch of noise. And I tell them, I'm like, okay, Grandma, she's making the noise. She's just being there to let you know she's there. She's watching you guys. And my dad is always going to be there to watch you guys when I'm at work, when I'm gone. So even my kids would see my dad, and he had been gone since 93. They never met him. They saw pictures of him, but they would still see the spirits in our home.
Oh,
Wow.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's
are you
I
real
never.
sensitive? Are
Oh,
you
I
real?
am very.
Yeah.
I am very sensitive. So we live close to Gettysburg. My husband and I go to Gettysburg all the time. And my first visit to Gettysburg, the moment we crossed into Gettysburg, I was bawling. I was in so much tears, and I was sitting in the
So
back seat with his mom, and he sees me through the rearview mirror, and he's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I don't know. It just had this all of a sudden just heaviness and
sad.
complete sadness hit me, and I was just crying. So the whole day I was very emotional. We went to this one area where the last day's battle was, and I was walking through there. I felt like my leg got knocked off from underneath me. I almost fell.
Oh, wow.
And my husband's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "No, I felt like I just lost my leg." I was like, "I'm in so much pain right now in my leg. What happened?" He goes, "Well, you know where we're at." And I'm like, "No, I've never been here." He's like, "This is where all the cannons were going off, and you probably felt somebody who lost their leg."
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Oh,
So stuff like that happens to me a lot.
yeah.
We were in
I don't know
Florida.
if that sounds like
I had feelings of people talking to us. Nobody was there, but I could hear the "Hey, you," and
Oh, yeah.
nobody was around us. My husband also heard it, so I feel like he's picking up a lot on things because of me.
Oh, maybe.
Like
Maybe you're like
he's
a
starting.
conduit.
Yeah, I think he's starting to hear things and see things where he never did before until I came into his life.
Yeah, you're like a conductor also, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't know what to look for or to notice to even know that they're in your presence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe you pointing out, oh, that noise was so and so, or
Very
maybe
true.
now he's noticing what the signs are.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
like
Absolutely.
so I always do, prior to having a permanent ancestral altar set up in my home, when I would set it up every Samhain, around Samhain time, around Day of the Dead, the moment I finished putting the last item on the altar, I would just start crying, like the last item. So my husband grabbed his Polaroid camera and took a picture of it, and it was all fuzzy.
Oh, weird.
So then,
Oh,
like a couple
so
minutes later, he took it again, and it was a clear picture. So you could see the spirits, like they were
yeah,
happy with the altar, and that's why I was just like bawling. Like the
I
moment I
bet.
always put the last item on there for the altar for the Day of the Dead, I would just start crying. Like it just gets so emotional.
Mm-hmm.
And then he grabbed the camera, took a picture, and it was very like I'll have to send you guys that picture because he has both Polaroids, and then we put them next to each other that you can see the difference. But it's
Oh, wow.
definitely, you can see like there's stuff going on in it. Yeah.
It's awesome.
That's
I would love to
But
see
I
it.
connect so much with my ancestors. Like I talk to them every morning. I have that permanent altar set up for them. I give them coffee offerings. I make myself a coffee. I make them a coffee. Set the coffee down for them. Say good morning. Talk to my guides. Talk to my angels. Like everybody. Every morning, I talk to all of them and tell them good morning, and that's how I start my day. And then I pull
that's
some
awesome.
cards.
I
Light
love
some
that.
incense.
Yeah.
Light a candle. Like to me, they're very important and a huge part of my life, and I want that to always continue. So that's why now they have a permanent altar.
Right. Oh,
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I don't have a permanent place. We have one wall in the living room, but I don't have like an altar set up all the time. I should. I would have altars everywhere though. But
So I mean, I never did before either, and right now, like I don't know, something in me just told me to buy a shelf. It's like a 4-tier shelf. I got it on Amazon, and it sits there permanently. I never move it, never take it off. No. To me, I
that's
just
good.
felt important for me to have it permanently there for them,
Yeah.
And my husband's like, "Sure, go ahead, do whatever you want to do."
Right on.
That's
Right on.
Yeah, I
I'm like,
always
"Don't mess
light
with the
a
witch."
little,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. I always light like a little black chime candle for my
Mhm.
ancestors every day, but I don't have that would be fun if I could,
Mhm.
yeah, put one of those together. Thanks for that idea.
You're welcome. I mean, it doesn't have to be huge and elaborate, you know?
Yeah, just if I could find some pictures of some ancestors. I don't know where they are, but that would be a good project for Bob this weekend.
Well, if you don't have pictures of them, you can draw them like I did on my ancestor
Oh,
cards that I bring with me. I don't have pictures of some of them, so
yeah.
I decided to draw them
Oh,
and just
that's
put their name on there, or like I kind of channeled like what I felt they would look like.
yeah.
And then I started drawing them, and a couple of them I did remake because I didn't like the way they looked. For me, they didn't feel right. So and then I'm like, okay, this isn't right, so I need to do this again.
Right.
But even if it's like you can do a certain image on a card, like something that reminds you of them, and you can
Right.
put their name underneath it, and that can be their card.
Ooh,
Doesn't have
yeah.
to be like an actual portrait of them if you don't have one.
Nice. I never thought of that. That would be a nice collage deck. I was gonna try to work on like a collage tarot deck of my own, but you would need a lot of like pictures for that.
Yeah,
You
I
know what I
found
mean?
like blank tarot cards on Amazon, like just plain black ones, and I have like acrylic paint markers,
Ooh,
and
yeah.
then that's what I draw them. I paint them on.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to send you the links.
Yeah, that would be great.
And they were
Yeah.
very inexpensive. I think the pens were like not even $10 a marker, acrylic marker pens, and
Yeah.
then the tarot cards probably $11.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
very inexpensive.
Wow. Oh, thank
Oh, thank you, Rochelle.
you.
Rochelle and I were talking about that Oracle deck that you did the
I
other
know.
day. We were like, dang, I wish I could buy something like that, you know?
Aw, thank you.
Have you done did I miss that? Maybe I forgot. I watched it. Did you do a walkthrough of your ancestor deck?
She showed him.
Yeah, I
Oh,
showed them on my travel altar one.
Mm-hmm.
I can't
Yes.
remember.
I
And
feel
I
like
actually
that's
have them with me. I have them with me, but not with me right
Oh.
now, but they're here in Texas
Oh,
with me.
yeah. Oh, I'll go back and watch it again.
I feel like that's a way because you're creating and you have them in your mind, so that's a way of creating a direct link.
Mhm.
It's
You
like
know?
pulling in that
And
energy.
it's also for my guides. I have them like I drew them for my guides as well, like what I thought their names were. So I have some of their names. Like I was able to get their names and what they kind of look like. One I had to redraw like I don't know, like 3 times because she didn't look right to me until after I finished the last card. Then I felt like this. My heart was like all warm and fuzzy, and that was them
Oh,
telling me that's
Yeah.
the right way.
She's probably right here going, yeah, no, you need
Yeah.
to do that.
And then I also did them faceless, like that Taryn Ellis tarot deck,
oh, I love that. I
because
love that.
I didn't want to mess up their face. And my one friend's like, no, Celina, they're not going to get mad if you mess up their face. But to me, they just didn't, like I tried drawing faces and I could not get their faces right. So that's why I left them faceless. And I think they came out perfect that way.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love those little statues, those angel statues that you can buy. I love them.
Me too.
Sorry, I'm just checking the time. My check-in is at 11, so don't let me forget.
Okay.
Okay. So, you know, Celina is extremely new, but you came in with such fire.
Oh, thank you.
So
She was like what would that be? The Page of Wands?
Yeah.
Working in with all these ideas and stuff. I was like,
I have so many
I
crazy
love
ideas
that.
in my head that I try and get them all out, but it's so hard to just do that, you know. I don't know.
Well, that was
Yeah.
kind of like leading me to like, what do you have a plan, or is it just to keep sharing your journey, or?
No plan. It's just whatever comes up, whatever is happening, I will share with you guys. Whatever I feel I need to do, I'm gonna go ahead and share with you guys.
I love that.
So this is just a fly by the seat of my pants.
Yeah.
just
when the best
go
stuff
with
happens.
it. Yeah, and whatever's happening, you know, witchy, I will definitely just make a video for you guys and share it.
Right.
Oh, excellent. Looking forward to that.
Thank you.
Me too.
Thank you.
Me too. So what?
So I'm loving chat. Hi, Linda. I didn't see you come in. I do not know. I do not. I'm not sure. The last time I heard from her, she said she was doing great, and she has insurance now. So she's probably just kind of regrouping herself. And yeah, so I'll send her another post probably, and just say, hey, we're still alive. Are you still alive? Yeah. I don't want to
Just
bug her,
checking
though.
in on the living.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Oh my God.
But then I thought about, Carla and Rochelle, because I was at the rodeo and there was these cowboy boots that had aliens and spaceship stuff on it all around them. And then I looked at the price and I'm like, oh no, I can't do that. But they were so gorgeous. They're on, I did post them on my Instagram. So they are on my Instagram, the video.
Oh, I'll link
but
it.
the cowboy boots with like spacecraft and alien stuff on there was just, they were the bee's knees.
Yeah.
Oh, but they were just too expensive to buy.
I don't think I've ever wore cowboy boots.
Yeah, I wore some for the rodeo.
Nice.
I had a dress on and I had like a little cowboy shirt on and then my cowboy boots.
Oh, you looked beautiful.
Yeah, it was fun. Thank you. They were a little uncomfortable towards the end of the day, but it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You gotta put those insole things in there. Yeah. I have to do the same thing with work boots in the garden. My feet hurt after a while with the non-cushy. I'm so used to sneakers now.
Yeah, but then it's like you're walking on like cement all day with them, and it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I switched to the platform for heels or anything, so I had the same, because I can't even do heels. It's like,
no, I can't do heels either. I have like a weak ankle. My right ankle is weak, so I'm always falling.
Like, give me the platform.
My sisters always laugh at me. She wears like these really high heels, and I'm like in my little kitten heels.
Yeah.
And even then, I'm struggling. So, not happening.
Yeah.
No, we just gotta have.
Give me a pair of tennis shoes, and I'm fine with those.
Hallelujah! Yes.
Yeah.
You see,
I'm all about comfort.
Like,
no,
yeah, me
I'm all about comfort. If I see,
too.
I mean, if I wear heels, I'm probably looking absolutely horrible walking in those things. Like, just horrible. I'll look ridiculous.
Railing? Where's the railing?
Keep your head like this. None of that.
No, thank you.
Oh yeah, Skechers. Skechers at the gym.
Yeah, so Richie best friend said, last time I wore heels, I tore my ACL. Yeah, never again.
Oh, goodness gracious, Jess. That's horrible. Yeah.
Wobbling around, that would be me too, Rochelle. Me too. I wear Crocs all the time.
Yes. Yes.
Me too.
I wear Halloween Crocs from Disney.
Oh,
That's what I wear.
Alicia's here. Hello.
Oh, Alicia, Halito, my friend. Yeah, no, thank you. No heels for me.
Yeah.
No.
So what about books? What good books are you reading?
Oh, so I just finished up the witchy astrology book that Rochelle recommended with that Evo Dominguez. That was really good.
Ooh.
Like the astrology one. I think I showed you guys in the whole group chat video we had.
Yeah.
My next one that I'm going to be working on is the esoteric witchcraft.
Oh, I know that'll be
good.
Yeah. I mean, and then I did get the Lost Book of Spells by Fiona Horn. There's a new book that she just has.
Good.
Yeah, and that one was pretty good. So it's a good reference book to have, I feel, but
yeah.
And then I'm finishing up the Practical Magic book. Like the first one from the actual book from the movie.
Really? I haven't read those.
It's so good.
I just got that on Audible. I just got the whole series on Audible.
Yeah.
I'm excited to start those.
Yeah, so I'm like halfway through that book.
Oh, wow. Fun.
Yeah, Michelle said it's that Sun Sign series from Llewellyn.
Ooh.
So when her and I had our little, it wasn't little because it lasted 2 days and it was like 5 hours long. We chatted on and off while she's trying to go over my sidereal chart.
Oh,
And she's, when she first messaged me, she's like, I've never seen a chart like this ever before in my life. And I was like, oh my God, is that horrible?
not good
She had
enough.
me, I know. I was like, is that bad? Because my chart was like, it was so Virgo heavy and very left-sided. And a lot of it was around the cusp of the 11th and the 12th house, or it was all like right there. So,
Oh, wow.
That's big time.
She had
high
me scared.
priestess energy right there.
That's what she said. Yeah. She's like, that explains why this is all happening now in this life. And she's like, I feel like you're tying up all loose ends in your, which I have been, I went over a lot of that stuff with her, and, initiating the divorce was my idea because I felt like I wasn't being seen or heard as a wife. And I said, I'm done with this. I'm the one that asked for the divorce. And then I'm the one that moved out of state. And I'm the one that's taking the lead in my own life. And if something doesn't fit right, you don't belong in my life, plain and simple.
Do you remember where your Chiron was?
Gosh.
Probably not. I mean, looking at the chart can be, Do you remember, sis? If you
my Chiron, okay, so I have my moon in Aries at 18 degrees in the seventh house in conjunction with Chiron.
In the 7th. So Aries? Oh.
So my moon is in Aries in conjunction with Chiron.
Wow.
So wounded past partnerships. Yeah.
Wow. And so and then sharing your journey is going to be extremely healing for others.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's what I feel like I'm, even before even knowing this path of mine, prior to that, I was already telling myself, this is my last life. Like after this, I want to be a guide. I want to be a guide. I want to be there for my family. I want to be there for others. I don't want to. So I feel like I'm really tying up all my loose ends from all my other past lives and healing all of that aspect, and then moving on to being a guide.
I hope, yeah. If I'm not beautiful and rich next time, I don't want to come back to Earth.
Oh my gosh, I keep telling my friend that. My one friend, her and I, we love New Orleans. So every time we say we want to come back as like the rich sisters with no kids living in like a mansion in New Orleans, a haunted mansion.
Yeah.
Oh.
To travel.
I would love that.
Yeah. Just
I would
gentle
love that.
living for a change.
So the thing is,
I'm pain free.
I know that too.
That's
So
the
I
next
have
one.
a past life where I was, I did have several past lives where I was like a wealthy person in them. And let me tell you, those lives are not great.
No.
So even having that money didn't change anything,
I know, but when you don't have it, you say, if I had it, I would pay off everybody's mortgage. And, you know what I mean? But then I have a very, very rich family member, like millions of dollars, and their lives are the most miserable. I wouldn't trade it for anything. So I get what you mean. I can totally see that.
Rochelle said, I'll be your sister. Yeah, let's all just have a whole compound in New Orleans.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's invite,
All right,
invite
girls
Klaus
got this.
and
I gotta
Elijah
log on.
Michelson into it.
Huh?
We'll invite the Klaus and Elijah Michelson into our homes. The originals.
Right.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
Me too.
I gotta go for a minute. I'm gonna mute and stop my cam.
Sounds good.
Have
Alicia
fun, girl.
said, yes, she's like, I'm an adoptee.
Well, since she is at her telehealth appointment real quick, she's like has a few questions that she has already drawn up for like people that we have in chat.
Sure.
And let's see. We've explored books and we've talked a little bit about shows. And some of your practices. So I guess I'm kind of curious, like, do you do any of your witchiness or your divination, your spiritual gifts? Do you use it in like a professional way at all?
Not at all. No. Like even tarot, I've only read for myself, for my family, my friends, anybody that's asking. I will do what I can for them. Healing as well. I'll do a healing ritual for whoever I know needs it, like my family. Usually it's my family. Like healing spells and candle work or protection. They're like dealing with some stuff that they need protection on, or I'll give them all advice, and if they come to me, or I'll do a candle for them and do some candle magic for them. Or my son, I did a poppet for him. So he had stuff he was dealing with, and he's like, Mom, can you help me? So I was like, sure, I'll help you. So I did a poppet for him, and he's actually doing really well right now. So he's the one that I'm down here visiting. He's extremely happy. He's healthy. He's mentally in a good spot. So I feel like if I can do that for them, I'll do it. And I don't charge anything for anybody, especially my family or even friends. I gladly make stuff and give stuff away to people because it's just who I am. And I just want to give, I just want to give.
Well, I think that is awesome. It just speaks to, your character. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Generous and extremely gifted, and realizing that, if you're sharing that gift, I
feel like it comes back to you, I think
it does.
Yeah.
I think so too. My sister is on fire, and she has some really.
Oh my God, I love her.
So, what is your favorite modality in your craft?
Ooh.
You probably don't have just one.
No. I have so many things of my craft that I absolutely love. I mean, everything I've been showing you guys, I love.
How long have you been reading tarot?
About 8 years now.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm like in my third or fourth year, but
I'm more of an intuitive reader. I don't know. I feel, I know they have the books and the guidebooks and all that fun stuff that goes with it, but if I look at a card, to me, something else is going to pop out of that card, and to me, something else is going to come to mind. So I feel like I'm more of an intuitive reader than just a hard, like what the book says, or I don't know. I feel like, and that's why I'm afraid to do any type of live readings like that. Kind of worries me because I don't go by the book.
Which is just really I don't think there's one person that reads the cards the same. Like even for myself, I'm in the Rider-Waite-Smith, and so I'm learning the symbolism. But there's so many decks out there that created by an artist that is doing their own thing, and so that's coming from their higher self or whatever, and so they're going to add their vocabulary to that picture. So intuitively reading that, I think, is extremely important. So I would never worry about what anyone else thinks about your reading, because my daughter reads that way and she has major insight, and she doesn't know all the meanings, but I'm telling you what, she's right on the money with the tarot.
Oh, good.
And
you're
so psychic. You're so psychic. So I could definitely feel that,
Yeah.
I could feel that.
Because I mean, I do. I call on my guides to help me, like prior to doing a reading. So whatever download or hit I'm getting, that's what's coming out of my mouth. If it makes sense, it makes sense. If it doesn't, it doesn't, but it's just, so that's kind of like what kind of worries me about doing tarot live, because I don't feel like I'm a normal, I don't go by the book.
Normal is
not in our dictionary, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing normal about us.
So Rochelle asks, what is your favorite crystal? And do you
Moonstone.
That makes sense.
Moonstone. I have it right now. Right here.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful.
Yeah. Moonstone.
Do you remember the first time you were drawn to it?
Oh, since I was young.
Wow. See, that's interesting. Yeah. Mine was really late. And it was labradorite. And I just remember.
That's a beautiful one too. That's like one of my next ones.
Yeah, it is. It's so gorgeous. I like moonstone too. I have a really nice ring. I feel it's protective. Yeah. I don't know. What is it? What does it feel? What is the energy feeling you get from it?
From the moonstone, for me, it feels very protective, soothing.
Yeah.
Like calming for me.
Yeah.
I feel safe wearing it.
Yeah, me too. I love that.
Yeah, I feel safe.
So Alicia asks, what is your favorite tarot or oracle deck?
Oh, I have a couple of them. That's really hard, Alicia. My first all-time favorite was the Everyday Witch, because to me that one was an easy one to read.
Yeah.
I think the moment I picked that up, it's so easy to read that deck. It's the images in there are just so spot on. Taryn Ellis, Everyday Woman, is another one of my favorite decks. That Mystical Martian Oracle deck, I love it. It's so cute and it's so spot on. Desert Illuminations deck, the tarot deck. It's a deserty, but it's very like bright neon pink and green and
I think I've
purple colors. That's another good one. The Santa Muerte Oracle deck. If you flip all the cards upside down in order, it makes a Ouija board, which is really cool. And then you can when you have them flipped upside down, it's the Oracle deck, and then you just intuitively start picking cards. Once you're done with picking the cards, let me go back. If you go back into that same spot that's empty and there's no more cards for you to pick, that is when you know to stop picking cards.
Ooh,
I did a walkthrough on that. It's on one of my Santa Muerte Oracle.
I'm gonna have to go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that.
It's such a good deck. And then I reached out to Fabio Lestrani on Instagram, and he's so nice to talk to. And he said that the printing press, his people gave him a hard time with that deck because all the backs are different, because they had to be specific to make the full Ouija board.
Right.
So they gave him a hard time, but he said he was happy. He stuck to his guns. I was like, this is genius that you did that. And the way that you would pick an oracle card for that way is absolutely genius. So he's so nice to talk to and super cool to chat with on Instagram, and very appreciative. Like, I love artists like that, and I will continue to buy cards from those artists because they are so easy to talk to, appreciative and nice, and want to hear your feedback on their cards,
I love that.
I love that. So I will definitely always support an artist like that. Like Rochelle with her decks, like her astrology deck. And I'm like, I feel like I need to buy more decks because A, her decks are really good, and B, she's an incredible person to talk to chat with, to anything. You want a person like that on your side.
Absolutely.
She's like your sister that's gonna go to bat for you.
And she knows a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And she's willing to share that with you.
Yeah, she's not a gatekeeper by any means. She's like, you want to know, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah. So that's why I absolutely adore her, and I would 100% back up anybody like that.
That's good. That's very good.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on her. I did get the Ostara, but I'm also waiting on her Matrix deck.
Oh, that one's the next one on my list.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I have like 4 of her decks that I want to buy. So
yeah, same. I have to pace myself.
I know, me too. Me too.
Yep.
Me too.
She says,
Oh, I love you, Rochelle.
let's see, what am I missing? No, I think I got.
Oh, she said she's gushing over
yeah,
here.
she's gushing.
Anytime, love, anytime.
Yes. She is a seeker, very much.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I am going to. I'm gonna be discussing with Rochelle a nice long interview about the decks coming up and stuff because.
Oh, nice.
And she's got some, a book she's working on, and
I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just, yep. We need to hear all about Sissy coming up.
We do. And then a little bit back, I saw that Alicia mentioned moss agate. I actually do love moss agate. That's another one of my top 3 top crystals is moss agate.
Ooh.
Or in rutilated quartz. I love rutilated quartz.
We are going to go to a different room here. All right. Now, so books, shows.
And then like Hecate, that's another oracle deck. There's a Hecate deck by Chris Butler and Ken Payne, which is also very, very good.
Oh, I don't think I've
So I am a Hecate devotee.
I really, really am interested in all of the goddesses.
Mm-hmm.
But I will admit I'm not well versed in each one, but I do recognize what I think is really interesting is that like in all the different pantheons,
Mm-hmm.
there's the similar energy of each one. So what really fascinates me is who are they in every pantheon?
Ooh, like separating them from like picking them all out from each pantheon would be a really good series to do.
Yeah. And Courtney, she's got she's starting the dark or the goddesses or whatever. So believe me,
it's been such a busy month for me, and I haven't been able to jump in on that hashtag of hers with the 13 keys because it's been so busy with. Like I recorded all these videos that I have now, like all in advance so that I can go on these trips. So like on Saturday, I think I did like 6 videos in one day. Wow. And I was like videoed out and content out, but it covered me for like 2 weeks. So,
which was extremely
smart.
Is
what I needed for my trip so that I could still have videos dropping. Yeah. Like the video from that cat full tarot, I did as soon as I got back from Florida 2 weeks ago. So that's been waiting in my queue for like 2 weeks.
That's awesome. And so well planned. Sounds Virgo-y.
It is. And that's funny because when Rochelle's going through all of that with me and she's like, are you a perfectionist? And I'm like, yeah, I am. And she's like, that's very Virgo energy. I'm like, I thought it was like Libra energy, but it's more Virgo than it is Libra.
Yeah, because Libra's, I could see that, Libra's like air, very mental justice, but Libra's ruled by Venus, so where Virgo is Mercury. And that to me makes all the difference.
I know. So it's kind of, it's funny when she was going through that with me and I was like, oh, I am a Virgo.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm like a very, very hardcore Virgo. So it was nice for her to go over all of that in detail with me, which is why it took us like 2 sessions, and it was like 5 hours long total, because we were not only yapping in between all of that and we get off topic, but she was going over my chart with me, which was very which is a very interesting and cool thing to do. So I would definitely recommend anyone to do not just get the chart, but have her go over the chart with you, because that's just additional information that will very much sink in. And if you gave me a plain chart, I'm not going to know how to read it. I'm not going to know what to do with it.
Yep.
I'm not going to understand it. So I need someone to go over it with me.
Absolutely. Yeah, she's a plethora of knowledge, and she's a teacher.
Oh, totally.
Every way. So yeah. I thought this was interesting, and I definitely wanted to hear what you think about that, because I also love that the goddesses are light and dark.
Me too. So like that's why for like the February self-love, I did like Aphrodite, I did Lilith, I did Hecate, I did Freya, because they're all so different, but they all help you in different aspects of self-love. And I felt, as I was thinking about which goddess to use, I'm like, well, my first initial instinct was Hecate, but then I'm like, but I also need something a little bit more self-loving and not just empowering. So then that's when I'm like, okay, let me go with Freya. But then Aphrodite came in the picture, and then Lilith came in the picture. And then as I was doing my video and I had my pink heart candles, because I wanted it to be uniform, but then Hecate's candle kept blowing out and blowing out and blowing out.
Remember that.
And I'm like, okay, Hecate, what are you telling me?
Yeah.
And I was like, duh, Celina, she doesn't like no stupid pink candle. But I only put it there to make it look uniform, not because I felt she needed a pink candle, but I wanted it to look uniform because of the other goddesses. And she wanted to be different. She wanted to have a different candle. And I gave her an extra offering after that, like apologizing to her, because I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to insult you with a pink heart candle.
And don't you feel like that does appeal to our human side? I mean, we're divine in our own right, but that appeals to us as humans, that we
Definitely.
are that.
Yeah. So she definitely made herself known. And then we went on our trip to Florida, and she kept coming up in different parts on my trip in Florida. And I'm like, okay, so we went to the oddity store, and then I found a skeleton key. I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy her the skeleton key and give her an offering, give her a key. And then I went into this witchy bookstore, crystal bookstore, that had a bunch of stuff, and it was called Ordinary Magic. And I was looking through the books, and they had a bunch of different books that I've never seen before. And I'm like, oh, these are interesting. So then I picked up the one book, and inside had all Hecate stuff on different keys for her and how to work with different aspects. And I'm like, okay, I'm totally buying this book.
Yep.
Because she's really making herself known, and she's kind of telling me, you haven't done enough for me, Celina, or you're not working enough with me. So I totally understand that, because I've been so busy, so I haven't been able to do as much,
Are you more drawn to Hecate?
Oh, totally. Mm-hmm.
How do you say it?
You can say Hecate, you can say Hecate. Some people say it differently. Some people spell it with a C. Some people spell it with a K. I don't think it matters. I don't think she cares on either. There's different pronunciations, different spellings. I spell it with a K, and I say Hecate. Or I can also say Hecate, or whatever comes out of my mouth, I think she's fine with.
So why did you pick Essence of the Moon as your YouTube name?
Okay, so my name, Celina, is Goddess of the Moon.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so I wanted to do something moon related, because I do work with moon cycles.
Okay.
And I don't know, I had a dream that night, and Essence of the Moon is what came up in my dream. Like essence. I was seeing the essence in my dream. So I was like, Essence of the Moon it is.
Right on.
And that's
Right
how
on.
I came up. So my Instagram name was first. That I've had for a couple years now. And then I decided to go ahead and transition that name into YouTube as well.
So don't you think that some people just kind of exude that type of goddess energy?
Oh, totally.
Because you do, and it's very, very fitting.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love that. You're welcome.
Thank you. That's very kind.
It's like, yeah, we are goddesses. I mean,
We are.
We want to be a healthy balance of both, but inevitably, we're
I'm
goddesses.
definitely more feminine than I am masculine in anything, but I definitely feel more of that feminine. I'm definitely more of that feminine energy.
I can feel that from you. I'm probably a little bit more on the masculine side, but I'm working on it.
Nothing wrong with being a healthy balance.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to get that healthy balance.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of fire in my chart too. With the I think I'm more Virgo, but I do have a lot of fire in there. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
You got to have that fire in there.
I have that fire. So as far as like any series, are you thinking about doing a series on your channel of anything?
Oh, I haven't thought of that, but that's a great idea.
I think, yeah, I would be in. I'd be tuning in.
What kind of series would like to watch?
Goddesses. Just like, I would love to see everybody's take on the goddess of
So
whatever.
doing like a goddess for every month?
Yeah, because I think that's what Courtney's doing, and I'm so into it. And I know Courtney has a lot of like Norse, like she relates to that. So she's got that Norse mythology. So like maybe pick a pantheon that you're extremely drawn to.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have one that you are more drawn to, mythologically speaking?
I think more the Greek. But I'm also interested in learning about the Egyptians.
Ooh.
I'm interested on learning about them. So maybe start learning about the Egyptian pantheon and start doing a series on Egyptian so that I can learn about them more. I am interested in them. I just don't.
You look Egyptian to me.
That's funny. Your sister said that to me when her and I had our video chat. And she says, "You look Egyptian." No one would have thought. She's like, "I wouldn't have thought you're Mexican."
No, I mean, obviously it's hard to tell, but you look Egyptian to me.
So and it's funny. So my 23andMe, I did my ancestry, like my DNA through 23andMe. My 23andMe is all over the map. It's not in one specific area. It's everywhere, including Egypt. So I'm going to pull it up right now so I can show it to you and show it to everybody on the live. But
that is really interesting.
I will show you that is my 23andMe. It's everywhere.
Wow.
Everything that's in color is me.
Holy smokes. Wow. I would have called myself a Heinz 57,
That's what my husband calls me. He's like, "You're definitely a Heinz 57."
Yeah.
But a lot of it is predominantly European. So it's like 55.6% European, but there's Western Asian and North African. So Egypt is on here. Egypt is at 2.9%.
Wow, that's actually pretty high. Because when you
Sub-Saharan African is on here. And then I have like 2.9% that is unassigned. No, they don't even know what it is. It's probably alien. It's probably
I was just going to say. Yeah,
it's the Anunnaki.
Absolutely.
But I'm always cold. And my son, he's like, "Are you a reptilian?" Because I'm always cold. He was touching my hands yesterday.
Do you know your blood type?
It's not RH, not RP. What is it? It's
not positive. Are you negative?
It is. I'm A positive.
Oh, you are A positive. Ooh, now see, new studies have shown that A is the older blood type.
Really?
Yes, the O comes from A.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty
Huh.
recent. I don't think they were willing to admit that. Science is pretty progressive, and I think it needs to be,
That's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are certain blood types that create or are more susceptible to like making crystals, like the uric acid in our blood. And we create more of that by certain things that we eat. But, so like the crystals that is formed from that.
Like gout, what comes from having gout. From
But
eating too much meat or like wine or anything like that.
yeah. And so, you think about that and what does, a clear crystal, which is what it looks like, it's a conductor, right?
Oh,
And
that's
A was one of
genius.
those, A and O, that are high susceptible to creating those crystals in our blood.
Correct. So for a while I did have gout and I had to take the medication for it.
Yeah.
So like what Rochelle talks about with her gout and not being able to do things, eat certain foods because of that. I was also on that medication because I was developing gout.
Wow.
So now I
Wow.
don't eat any red meat whatsoever. I only
Yeah.
eat like chicken or fish,
Yep.
and it's a very specific diet.
So you don't take the medicine anymore?
Mm-mm.
You just changed eating habits. Well, that's pretty good. That's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just going through comments of what, people are talking about their ancestry.
See, my kids are German and Irish. They have that in them as well. So they have all of mine stuff and then German and Irish as well.
Yeah. And if you ask family and friends, part Faye.
I know.
Absolutely.
I love that. And you can look part Faye, actually. I'm looking at your picture.
Oh,
I can
yeah.
see that.
Oh, and she's very tiny. Very tiny.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
O positive.
Yep. Oh, and Jess is A positive
Woohoo!
too. Mm-hmm.
We have the same blood type.
And she's Irish, German, and Swedish Russian. Ooh,
Wow.
yeah. Rochelle. She's talking about
she's
Summer.
tiny but mighty.
Yeah, absolutely.
How cute.
Awesome. Oh, and I didn't want to miss this.
Thank you, Alicia. That's the 2.7. It's alien for sure. It's something. But it's unassigned. They don't even know what it is.
Yep. So now Rochelle had said earlier about maybe a series of similar god and goddess energies through the cross pantheons, if you were interested. But now I'm like really thirsty to learn about the Egyptian stuff. And I don't know about you, but the one thing that I have like learned with like when I'm doing a deep dive is that as I share it and I teach it, I retain it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're vlogging what you're learning and then sharing it, that's still a way to learn and retain and teach others.
So that was my thing that was another big aspect of doing the YouTube channel is it was to keep me and remind me to do my practice. Like I wasn't doing it as often as I wanted to. So it was keeping me, I've like lost my words here, but it's.
And didn't you say you have ADHD too? So do I.
And my brain's like, I can think of the word, but I can't like spit it out.
Gotcha.
But it's making me stay on task with my practice and making sure I do it and making sure. So that's my own personal like video vlogging.
Yeah.
Like my own personal like journal. Yeah. There it is. Accountability.
Yes.
I couldn't think of that stupid word.
Oh, tell me about it.
I like words, Celina, words.
I hear you and I totally relate.
So definitely keep me accountable for my practice because I wasn't doing it as often as I wanted to. And I found every excuse not to do it. And I'm like, okay, Celina, you need to stop with these excuses. So that was like my New Year's resolution, was to keep myself accountable for my practice and do it, and then do a video on it, not just for myself, for like my own little grimoire, video grimoire. I feel like my YouTube is like my video grimoire.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then also to put it out there for other people to use if they wanted to.
You know, that's one of the things that when we totally realize what it is we want to do with our social media, no matter what it is, it makes it so much easier to commit. You know, it's just being honest with what you want for it and just go for it and do whatever it is. Because if we're not following what we want, well, then we're not going to be happy with it, you know?
Correct. So that to me, that's what my YouTube channel is. It's my video grimoire. It's instead of writing it in a book, it's on a video format.
Yeah.
And that way you see my step-by-steps, what I'm doing, and if it's going to work or not going to work. I'll know because I did the video. So
absolutely. And if you find something, this was just something I was thinking about. If you find something after you've like vlogged for so long that say, okay, I've grown from that. I know for myself, it's like, oh, I don't want to keep that up there. But we can look back and go, oh, I may not be in that same place, but it shows that I've grown, I think, differently.
Progressed.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love
that. I do. I love that. And
me too.
And not only that, but I feel like it's helped me find a community, because I didn't have a community before this. You know, I was always considered a solitary witch. I did find there was another person that was a really good friend of mine, but she did me dirty. And I'm like, you know, screw that. I don't want to be in a coven.
Yeah.
But I feel like now that even starting the YouTube videos, I've been able to find my community, my people, you know, who are very like-minded and do the same stuff that I do, maybe in a different way, but we are like-minded, and we've developed like a sisterhood on here, you know, which is really important for me.
I agree. In fact, Summer came to Rochelle's house. I forget when it was, but when you get to meet people,
in person,
it's
a whole different dynamic.
Yeah, and it gives you an excuse to travel the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's perfect. And if
That's
you can
like
do
me.
it.
Yeah, so I have a really good friend who lives in Scotland, and I was going to be going out there. So then you're right, Alicia. Egyptian goddesses are underrepresented. So I think maybe we'll all start doing a Egyptian I'll stick to doing their like video series.
I think that's awesome. Yes.
Because I have one of their books. My husband bought me a book from like an Egyptian book like a year ago, and I've not even opened it.
Oh, now you got a reason to check that.
So now I have, ADHD is prominent in our community. It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I mean, I think that's what I'm calling it now. This is my video grimoire instead of writing it down. Plus, I can't write that well anyways because my hands hurt.
Yeah. Oh,
so, and then my writing gets horrible.
That's mine.
It goes
too.
like really nice at first, and then at the end, it looks like Dr. Chicken Scratch.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I got my peeps. We do.
Yeah. 4 years ago. Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Oh my God. That's so cool. But like my friend, she lives in Scotland, and I was going to be going out there. So I reached out to her. I'm like, hey, she's an Instagram friend. I'm like, hey, I'm going to Scotland. Are you going to be, are you in any of these cities that I'm going to be at? And she happened to be in one of those cities. So we met up for the day, and we went to like Glasgow University because it looks like very Harry Potter-esque. The writer for Harry Potter got the inspiration from you looking at that university to making Harry Potter.
Oh, that is freaking awesome.
So she took me out there, and we were walking the university, and I was taking pictures, and so it was really nice to meet her in person. And it happened to be her birthday as well. So I I took her, I gifted her a deck from Carol from Libra Moon.
Oh, okay.
One of her little traveling like kitty cat decks with a leather pouch. So I gifted her that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. I want to go to Scotland.
It's such a liminal space there, and it's so spiritual there. Like I completely went there a different person. Like I went there as a person and came back as someone completely different.
Isn't there a show, and I'm trying to remember the name of it, and I know you know the time travel
Outlander.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, that's good stuff. And I think about that. I'm like, I believe that is entirely possible.
Oh, totally. And it was such a great show. But the country itself, it's so beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
I felt like I was floating when I was there. I was like a whole different liminal space. It was so it's crazy to explain how I felt like I was floating
just
the
going to
whole
say,
time.
why do you think it is? Because I have heard others exclaim it the same way. Explain
It's
it.
so spiritual there. It's the energy there is phenomenal. Like to me, it felt like home.
Oh my gosh, you're not the only person that I've heard say that. It
felt like home.
So it's like you're being called.
Yeah. When I was there, I was in so much peace internally. I was just a whole different person there. And I came back a whole different person.
Wow. Wow.
And
That's
I was there
amazing.
over the summer. I was there over the summer for 2 weeks, and we went to England as well. And we went to the Holy Island where,
yeah.
I didn't know that, Rochelle.
I didn't either. But I mean, if you think about it, Egypt is kind of, I mean, in my opinion, it's like after Atlantis, but it's from Atlantis, like the remnants and what, like they rebuilt.
Because it feels like such an old country.
Yeah.
Like when it feels very old when you're in Scotland. A lot of the ruins and everything, it feels, I don't know, it feels different there. It's not like America. We're just a bunch of little, it's a baby country. We're in a baby country compared to out there, and the energy out there to me, it's home. When I finish graduating and finish my studies with my master's, that's going to be my gift back for myself is I'm going to go to Scotland again.
I'm glad that you brought that up. So what are you getting your master's in?
So essentially it was going to be healthcare administration because I've been in pharmacy for 23 years, but the hospital aspect and the management part of that is always so wishy-washy, and they're continuously getting rid of managers. And I'm like, that's not, why would I want to go to college for 6 years to have to deal with not having a job because they're constantly letting go of people. So I'm going to do an MBA instead, and then I'm going to do an understudy of some sort of healthcare administration to go with it.
Wow. That's pretty ambitious, and I think that's excellent.
So I'm halfway there. I'm like 3 years in. I still got about 3 more years to go.
Wow.
So when I'm finished with that, then that's going to be my gift to myself is going to Scotland for 2 weeks for graduating.
Absolutely. Oh
yeah.
So
anybody wants to go in 3 years, 4 years to Scotland.
I'll be able to save enough by then.
Let's go.
So Rochelle said Princess Scotia was Egyptian pharaoh's daughter, and she had red hair.
I didn't know this.
Yeah. And mummies of royalty were red haired. It's like, oh my gosh, we're going down a rabbit hole.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And they say all redheads are from one person. And she says, naturally, I'm a redhead. That's awesome.
That's so cool.
That is awesome. Oh, and Sonia just ordered her 23andMe. Yep. It's so interesting to find out that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Me neither, Jess. And I'd be really interested to hear more about Egyptian stuff myself. I have a book at home that I've only barely scratched the surface of. It's freaking huge, and it has.
Oh.
But you want to know what I find extremely interesting is that you know how you got your true sidereal chart read.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of stuff in there that I looked deliberately to see if I could find out about, like the temple of, I think, is it called Danica? Or I can't remember, but where they have things on the temple walls that were blacked out that had to do with possibly Ophiuchus. Yeah. And you can't, there's nothing in the book about it. So I'm sure that the book it's pretty old. If I was at home, I'd show you, but
Wow.
yeah. And I just find it so interesting that there's parts of that they don't want to be public about, or they don't want it to be public knowledge.
Which makes you think about why are they
hiding
Ophiuchus on there?
Yeah.
Of all the other images on that wall, on that ceiling, or wherever, why Ophiuchus?
Yeah. I watched it on a video. Ike Rodriguez he has a video where he's kind of exploring stuff about Ophiuchus, and he talked to one of the people over there, and I think it was told to him that they just didn't clean that spot. It's like,
I call BS.
Oh, okay, I'll accept that.
Yeah. No, you're lying.
No, I won't. Yeah, exactly. Okay, yep. Dendera, thank you. Okay. The Temple of Dendera. Yep.
Oh, my goodness.
The 13th deacon was blacked out, which is where Ophiuchus would be. Yes. And
hi, Marissa.
Marzipan.
Yeah.
Nice.
She's super, super nice. She's been following me, I feel like, since the beginning of my channel. And
really?
She's such a nice, she lives in Sweden.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here. Yes.
She's definitely in a whole different time zone than we are.
Really?
Yeah, she's in Sweden.
So, like 6-hour difference, maybe?
That's what I'm thinking. Probably 6 hours.
Well, I appreciate
Scotland is 5 hours.
Yeah. Oh, so it's dinner time.
Yeah. She's getting dinner ready for her babies. They're going home from work.
Oh, well, awesome. My sister said she just sent the link in my chat for the Princess of Scotia. That's awesome.
I'll have to look her up as well, because I'm interested in that and seeing the connection between Scotland and Egyptian.
Yeah, and I think the giants were red-haired. And if we think about, like there she is.
Welcome back, Debbie.
There you are.
Yeah.
That took forever.
It's a video by Robert Zephyr.
Oh, I like Robert Zephyr.
Yeah.
Right on. Right on.
That was fun.
What was it?
Yeah. I love my dog.
Oh, well, that's good.
I do. She doesn't listen sometimes.
I gotcha.
So I ended up with a rheumatology, a neurology, and a colonoscopy.
Oh.
Rude.
Oh, well, I hope everything comes out all right.
She says it's 16:32 where she's at right now. But yeah, I'm happy you're back, Debbie. So
Thank you.
4:30 her time.
Gotcha. Yep, dinner time.
Oh,
Miss Marzipan moment.
Yeah, she's from Sweden, so she's
wow.
she's so she follows me on YouTube, and we've been probably since like the beginning, I feel, and she's super nice to talk to, and she has really cute content. So definitely check her out.
Yeah, we need to go check her out. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I knew the name looked familiar, and that must have been where I've seen it. Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love finding a new channel.
Me too.
Rochelle said, Carla, don't go there.
Oh.
Just once a show. That's it. Excuse me, I have to smoke. I was on video with my doctor.
Oh yeah, yeah. So stress relief.
I know.
Oh. Well, hopefully you get all your stuff figured out there, Debbie. And yeah,
It's just part of the game.
it is. It's good times.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I, wanted to invite Celina is because even though, you're not in your cronehood, you have lots of crone wisdom.
Oh, thank you. That's to me, it's such a huge compliment.
Very wise.
Yes,
the
you
gray hair
have so
count
much.
as being a crone because it's coming in.
Yeah.
But I
Oh,
do
well,
cover it.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Own it. I'm owning mine.
Yep. Me too.
I use like a black shampoo that I use.
Your hair is beautiful.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
It's black shampoo. And I just use it like once every 6 weeks to help cover up my roots.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
So, Debbie, do you think she looks Egyptian?
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
The eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, your eyes are very Egyptian.
Uh-huh.
So we had this conversation because I was telling Rochelle when her and I were doing my true sidereal, I was like, I'm Mexican. And she's like, well, I thought you were Egyptian.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very much so.
But then I was showing my 23andMe and I have like 2.9% Egyptian in my 23andMe.
Really?
Yep. Yep.
Oh, Sonia has a question on there.
So DNA must not follow like soul family.
Maybe it does though.
Yeah.
Did you get any hits from that from your past life work? Were you Egyptian in any of your past lives?
I haven't found that one yet. No.
Really?
I found
I'll be
like
interested to see if
Italy,
you do.
and I did have some in Mexico. I had some here in the US. Like during the Salem witch trials, I did pass through Salem when all of that was happening, and I did pass away like a year after.
Hi, Ange. Oh, maybe you were that rude neighbor in New Hampshire. And I just did
I came from New York. I was in New York, and then I made my way south to Virginia.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And that's where I was actually unalive there for being a witch. I was hung.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like my husband was there with me. He was the one that was my teacher then. And I feel like although he's not my teacher now, he knew that this was all in me, and he was the one that was buying me my tarot decks, buying me my Hecate statue, buying me stuff because he knew it was me. And because of him, I'm where I'm at now. And I do have that support where my previous marriage, I had zero support.
Yeah. I'm so interested.
I felt like he was in that past life in the 1600s, late 1600s.
Oh, well, I'm sure he was.
Mm-hmm.
It was inevitable for you guys to come together.
Yeah, and come together again today to do the same thing.
Uh-huh.
Like in a different way, but yes.
Would he be open to do like a past life reading? No, I don't know if Bob would either.
No.
Although he always asked me to do his cards. I never do.
No, I don't do them for him. I don't do anything like that for him because he's a huge World War II fan, Civil War fan, like huge. And I feel like he was in those past lives.
Oh, okay.
But he doesn't want to know anything about it. Like
Gotcha.
It scares him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm so interested. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Debbie.
Go ahead. No, you go. You go. This is delay.
I was just thinking every time I hear you talk about your husband and the fact that he's a Mason, like I am so interested in like the origins of the Masons and, like who they were before and how they came together. But I'm also interested, like, I'm 55. So it's like, I'm not going to try and become a Mason, but I'm extremely interested in like, like the lodges. I've heard each one is different, like one could be spiritual and another one might be business oriented. So it's like they have a focus and it's going to be different for each lodge. So I'm just extremely want to know.
When I'm done with my schooling, I actually want to go into that Eastern Order. So it's the women.
Yes. Uh-huh.
I want to get into that, but I can't now because I'm so busy. And I won't
Right.
be able to make meetings or anything like that.
Right. It's a
But
commitment.
it's a huge commitment, but I don't have the time with my schooling and work and everything. So once I'm done with all of that, and I feel when we permanently settle, we want to go to New Mexico. That's where we want to move to. Once we finally move out there and we get situated in the lodge, or he gets situated in the lodge, then he'll introduce me to the Eastern Order. So, because I want to learn from them as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
That
almost
is
like a
so
coven,
awesome.
right?
Yeah.
There's a leader, and is there a hierarchy?
Oh, I'm sure, but he doesn't tell me much of anything when it comes to Freemasonry.
Right.
And I'm his wife, and I ask him questions, and he won't tell me.
Yes. Yep. That's why once you're in the order, then it's a little bit different. But
even then, I'd have to keep my secrecy and not put certain things out there like on YouTube or anything. So
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be horrible at that. I blab about everything. So
I know. So here, barefoot on the Gaia path said my parents were Freemason and Eastern Star. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I like what Rochelle said. She said, did we plan that ahead of time to that we all
I
find
just
each
saw
other?
that.
I don't know. I think it's cool though.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool to think that we did have a plan in that,
Wow.
Because when you are being reincarnated and you're going to be starting a new life, you kind of put out there like who you want to be in your soul family.
Mm-hmm.
You put out there what lessons you need to learn, you want to learn. As difficult as you're going to pick what kind of parents you have to help you learn those lessons.
Oh my God, that's
good or bad.
I think too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
you be my friend.
I think you do. I think you do pick this path, and you do pick the people you want to reincarnate with, or eventually find on that path.
Yeah. Have you ever watched those movies where, say, somebody forgets they know they've had, or they're going to lose their memory or something. So they'll put little notes in books or something.
Yes.
That's what we do for each other.
It's also in the Mayfair Witches, the new season, like the gentleman who's in, who's I can't think of his name.
Well, I just started that.
He's the one that touches things and he gets memories of whatever it is he touches.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. Her watcher, right? I don't know. It's like the one that's put in charge of protecting her or something.
Yeah. So whatever it is that he touches, so he put memories into a book and gave it to one of his friends to hold on to and said, if I ever come to you and I'm looking for something, oh, that's so sweet. And it was just his birthday too.
Oh, that's awesome.
What a sweetheart.
That's so sweet.
It is sweet. Very much.
Yeah. And then Ange said, I think parents pick their children to teach them. At least this is my experience in this current life. I came here for my parents, not the other way around.
I believe that too.
Oh, that's beautiful, Ange.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
It's awesome to learn about the past lives because it makes this life make more sense.
It does. Yeah. It's like,
and I feel like once I was learning more about my past life, I understood what this life meant to me and what it is I had to do in this life.
Yeah. Yeah. Understanding our mission.
It's totally connected. Yeah.
Yep.
So do you girls think you know your mission in this life? Do you know what you're here to do?
Oh yeah, I'm here to clean up all that mess from my previous lives and this is all done and move on with being a human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being there as a guide for my family. helping them. And it's funny because years ago, I even told my kids, I'm like, when I die, I don't want no angel card. First of all, I don't want a funeral, but I don't want no angel card with my name on it. I want on the back of that card, I want there to be a Ouija board. And to contact me, use a Ouija board.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's just my sense of humor on that. Like, I'm like, don't put no angel behind a card. Put a Ouija board. They're like, Mom. And I said, I'm serious. And if you don't do it, I'm going to come back and haunt you until you fix it.
Yeah. I tell my kids I want Highway to Hell at the funeral if they need to have one. And they're like, no.
Yeah. No, I said, I don't want a funeral. I said, you cremate me, and then whenever my birthday is coming up next and we have like a celebration of life thing, I'm like, do not give my money to the funeral people except for the cremation part. I'm like, don't be spending thousands and thousands of dollars on any of that stuff, because I'm going to be so mad at you for doing that.
I know.
Yeah.
So
mine is just to plant seeds.
And just throw my ashes somewhere in a forest or anywhere that I love, or drop it off in Scotland. I'll ship all 3 of you guys to Scotland, drop it off in Scotland, and then I'll be happy.
I would love to be in Scotland. I always wanted to go there. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about that when you were gone, but yeah, that's why it made me think of Scotland again. Absolutely. And I was telling Carla how it's such a liminal space. Like, I felt like I was floating the whole time I was there. It was not, the energy is just so inviting. Then I told her, to me, it felt like home. Like, I was so happy there. I was internally in peace.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I had experiences there. So it was definitely, to me, it's such an amazing place to visit. But for me, I would totally move there if I could.
Oh, I wish. Bob won't go. I've already tried.
You remember that?
He's programmed.
Yep. See, Ruth said the same thing. I don't want a funeral, cremation, set me free, and then a celebration of life. Yep.
You remember that book, The Stand, by Stephen King?
Yes.
You remember where they all dream and they're all like drawn to the same place?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Doesn't that make you wonder if that's not where the calling comes from? Sometimes it's like
totally.
Is the ancestors. They're calling us
back home. You're being called back home.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's why there's such a shift in spirituality right now too.
Yes.
We're all being called to, like, make it known that others are there. You're not weird. Or you're not by yourself. You know, I think that just to be more welcoming, to embrace like different spiritualities altogether. You know, you don't have to be the same witch or the same religion even.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, you need to get more into that.
Yep. Yeah.
You were
asking about mission, and honestly, you know, I don't have anything specific, but planting seeds is part of it. And I think YouTube is the perfect place to do that.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree.
And talking about not having funerals, a friend of mine, both of her parents passed within the last couple of years, and neither one of them wanted funerals. And it was just, I mean,
it's for the living. You do funerals for the living.
That's right. You're exactly right. Yeah.
Yep.
And
I don't want
to. It all started with having a casket open for me, and I'm like, no, because they're not going to do my makeup right. I'm not going to look like me. And if someone takes a picture of me in there, I'm going to lose my ever loving mind. Yeah. You guys are in so much trouble if you take a picture of me in a casket.
Yeah.
I will go nuts. I will be pulling your blankets in the middle of the night. I will be haunting your home until you get rid of that picture.
Tripping you go down the stairs.
Correct. And that's true. Wicked. They do.
Yeah.
It is very wicked.
Doing the Caitlin Doty books opened my eyes to funeral homes and all that. It's so expensive for absolutely no reason. That started in the Civil War, right? Or was it the Revolutionary? Pumping people full of like arsenic and crap to get
Formaldehyde.
them home.
Yeah.
Yeah, to get them home to the families in one piece so they could, have closure or whatever.
So
We
in
don't
Mexico,
need
they
to
do it within 24 hours because they don't pump you with anything. You have to be buried within 24 hours. So when my grandmother passed away, we had to hurry up and get a plane ticket, and they delayed as much as they could in the church. We got there like the last 5 minutes of church.
That stinks.
Yeah.
But they don't do formaldehyde. It's automatically they start burying people, and then they do the novena right after that, like the 9-day prayer.
Yeah.
Like praying the rosary.
Right. I don't know what made people so treat the dead body so volatile, like it's something to be feared. That it's weird. And when I first got into healthcare, I'm like, this isn't scary at all. They're just not here. I never understood that concept of fear around a dead body. I don't know. Hopefully that changes.
I hope
You
so
have
too.
a good 2 or 3 days in a cool environment. So
yeah,
that's a trend that we need to get rid of.
Before I actually sat with someone that died, I understand the apprehensive or the anxiety, but then once you actually do, it changes your whole perspective on it.
Yeah, that's right.
It's an amazing process.
It is.
My mom had such a beautiful death.
Yeah.
We even had a rainbow the day after.
Oh,
It was awesome.
talk about signs, huh?
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. She just went to sleep. She didn't struggle. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And I've done hospice. So it can be difficult, but more times than not, it's very peaceful.
It is. I felt like it was a birth. Awesome. It was a birth. Yeah. It was a transition. And it was like, and there was a very spiritual aspect of being pulled from the flesh, the spirit being pulled. It was,
yeah. I appreciate that. Yeah. Oh, so Ange said she's done hospice work, and that's very powerful to honor.
That was my
death
favorite job in the universe.
Yep. Yeah, it does. It absolutely does. Yep.
I've always wanted to be a death doula.
I would totally do that.
Would so be me. Yeah.
Yeah, I would totally do it. Become a death doula. I mean, I think there's beauty in all of that, even though it's the ending of that life cycle. To me,
that is amazing.
It's a transition to a different plane of existence. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, she's done death doula training, Ange. That's so cool.
Wow.
Ooh,
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And it's important for the family to.
Oh my gosh. So, yeah.
To help them process.
Yeah.
I think that's the part I loved about it the most, because most of the time the client or patient's already sedated. Like when they go, you do a lot of morphine and help the body shut down and, withdraw fluids and all that stuff. So I think it's more for the family and helping them process the transition of not having them with you. That's a horrible jar for your system, after having somebody with you for so long.
Yep. I had people in the room with my ex-husband and us, and some of them were extremely religious. And so it's like, but my ex-husband really wasn't, you know what I mean? So, and it was a mixed quote unquote crowd, so there was fear and anxiety because he wasn't religious. And and then I felt that fear from him because he just didn't know. He was anxious. And
you can't really say anything.
I did.
Right. Did you? Good
But
for
I
you.
did it in
I
a
don't think
way that was just like kind of like just whispering to him and then trying to ease just by speaking what I believed. And the ladies in hospice stood by the door and they were just crying and they were like, that was awesome. And it made me feel good because I wasn't sure what the words coming out of my mouth, what they sounded like. I was just trying to relay what I was feeling to say, you know, it's beautiful.
That's the best
here.
kind of communication, though.
Go. Yeah.
And
you
that's
know.
what I appreciate about my Mexican tradition with the Day of the Dead, because we do honor it. We do think it's beautiful. We find the beauty in that. And to us, it's very peaceful. Like to know that they're going to come back and they visit you.
Yep.
You know, that you're never alone. They're always with you.
Yep.
And you can always
Sometimes
talk to them.
noisy.
Like to me, all of that was just it was very relaxing to know that there's no finality to that.
Yeah.
Death is not
It's not an
final.
end.
Nope.
Right.
I'm ready for my own, honestly.
Me too. I'll be welcoming it.
I'll be
I
worried
know.
about the people I leave
It's the
behind.
living. It's the
Yeah.
living that have to deal with your absence. But for you, you're done, you're gone, you're at peace with whatever is happening health-wise or anything like that. You're not in that same state anymore.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, most of the time they're ready to go.
Yep. Wow.
I love that. Yep.
Next adventure in our cycles. Yep. And then you can become a guide, or you're an ancestor to your family. You can help them. You know, it
I want
doesn't
to do
end.
that. I want to be a guide.
Me too.
Yeah. You know, this would be a great conversation alone to get different perspectives, you know, because there's really no way to know, you know what I mean? So there's no right or wrong. And
Right.
I think that how we feel about it now is probably what we're going to experience then.
Yep. I welcome it. I'm excited for that and starting a new journey, you know?
Yeah.
What is that quote? To die is the next great adventure, or something like that. It was Pirates of the Caribbean, maybe? Come on, Rochelle.
Rochelle has all the answers here.
Yes, she does. She's
the
a
only
booker of
menopause
wisdom.
even with the brain left. Or memory, I think. Oh my
We are
God.
seekers for sure, Rochelle said. Yeah.
She doesn't know either. Oh, now I'm going to have to ask Bob, because he messes it up all the time, but he quotes it all messed up. So I don't know what movie it's from. He knows, though. Oh, hello.
Hello.
We're always on Wednesdays, but we're every other week now. Since Jen left and Carla started, we were busy. So I didn't want to like put so much pressure on ourselves to be here every week, but I know. Right, I know. Yeah, that's important. I know. Yeah, my brain cells are all on my appointment that I had. So now I can prioritize them back to YouTube. Oh my gosh.
I love that.
Oh, I wanted to share this book. I don't want to do a walkthrough. But have you guys read this?
I have not.
No.
Oh my gosh. That's the best tarot book I've read in a long time. Maybe I'll do a walkthrough. But yeah, I have a whole bunch of things I wrote about it.
Oh, that's exciting.
Oh, yeah.
It is so good. And I marked it all up. I hope she doesn't watch this because look, I wrote all in it. Oh, but look, it came all messed up in the printer.
I saw that. Wow.
Yeah. Isn't that weird? So I couldn't read the 8 of Wands. So if anybody has it and can screenshot an 8 of Wands page, it's page 115 and 116. Yeah.
Wow.
But definitely get this book. It's awesome.
And
That
said that
one's
Lisa would
oh,
love that
sorry.
you marked it all up. Maybe you should
Oh,
reach
she
out to
would?
Lisa for that page.
Oh, yeah, she's probably busy though. Um, I don't know Lisa real well. I'm like a spooky lurker in the corner over there. Just because I don't, every once in a while I'll say, something on the girls' videos, but usually I'm just a lurker. I do that a lot because I don't have time. I watch like everybody on 2 speed, and then sometimes it'll flip. I gotta go back and see. Maybe she did a walkthrough. I can't remember. But yeah,
So-
do definitely get the book. It's awesome.
Yeah, nothing wrong with lurking, but Lady Blindwolf says she has a few books regarding ancestral work and tarot and hadn't gone around to them. So the ancestral books that I have is that Claire Goodchild? Is that her name? She has some really good ancestral books.
Was that the walkthrough you just did?
No, I have not shown them.
Oh, okay. I just
Claire
watched
Goodchild.
her
So yes, it's the Book of Ancestors, and she also has a book of seances. That's the book.
Ooh,
thank you.
Yeah, we're like, ooh, that looks good.
Yeah, it's actually a really good book. So it's Claire Goodchild is the author, and she also did the Book of Seances, and she also did the Antique Anatomy tarot book.
Oh, I love
hers.
that. Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
But the Book of Seances is also a really good book. I would love to actually do a seance one day.
You know what? I would too.
Hang on a second. Can you do one on live?
I don't know. I mean,
do that. That would be fun.
I feel like if you're doing it on live, you're opening up more portals.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
Because technically, we have a 3-way portal opened up right now.
Right.
True.
Yeah. So it would be whatever's around you guys too, huh?
Let's pull a card on it.
Yeah.
Ooh, look it. I even did the exercises in that book.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It was fun. I got all sorts of things written.
Wow, that's really cool.
I love that book so much. Oh, I was just seeing Rochelle talked about a book this morning. No, the poetry book. Her name just went out my Lennon.
Yeah, Lennon.
Lennon's
Myth.
I need to get that because that sounds amazing. That Hecate poem.
The Immaculate. What's it called?
Oh yes, the Immaculate something. Yeah.
The Time Master.
Yeah.
I love her. I say that about everybody. I love her.
Immaculate Immortality.
Thank you.
I know it's on Amazon.
So, talking about like portals and
what do we get?
When the Time Master visits you, he asks a most important question. Will you break free from limited cause and effect thinking by moving beyond the linear illusion and welcoming the cyclic quality of time? So finding yourself in a moment when the wheel of time turns and you're able to influence the past, thus changing the present and future simultaneously. This is the true test of the Time Master. You're being invited to take back your power, so let go of the past. Well, let's see. How would we relate that to whether we should do something like that online or not? Maybe that's not what the card was for. 5 of Cups. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that same message. It's like, I mean, leaving behind.
Don't cry over spilled milk.
Yeah, leaving behind whatever fear, whatever it is that's keeping you. Yeah. Huh. Anyway.
Interesting.
Maybe that's what's interesting is maybe somebody just has really something they want to say.
Who wants to say something? Blurt it out.
You know what I mean? Like ancestral type thing. So maybe not so much like a seance, but maybe a channeling of sorts.
Yeah, I don't know about doing a seance on
right
video though. You know, I feel like it does open up portals.
I think you're right. And there's a lot of them open right now, period. I think all over the world. Especially with the, you know. Yeah. I just thought it was interesting. You know,
so one day we'll have to do them in person. We'll have to meet up and do all these things together that we want to do.
Yeah.
We can meet up on Rochelle's thing. She knows how to do all that.
Yeah. Yeah, we try to figure it out and we're like, I
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Anne said a seance online in a private environment would be fine, but not a public live stream. Just my opinion. Yeah.
Yes. I agree that.
Like a private Zoom.
I mean, that's
so we could still do it, just not share it publicly because of the
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
That makes sense. Oh, that would be fun.
It would be. It would be some. Yeah.
I would be so witty. I'm down for that. We'll do it like around Samhain time. When the veil's so thin.
Yes.
Well, Beltane's coming up too, ladies. Beltane, the veil is thin too. Beltane. I think I feel it more at Beltane than I do at South. Yeah. It's more more like land spirits and stuff though. Like the spirit of place.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Type of spirits, but then Samhain's more ancestry.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It does, yes.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I get a lot of fae in the spring, more so than in the autumn.
In the autumn it's not really there. Yeah, it's different energy.
Yeah. Yeah, you got rebirth and then you have death.
That would be fun.
That would be fun.
Reading party.
That would be fun.
Like a clue.
Yeah.
That's so much fun.
It was the Knight of Cups in the parlor.
Ooh, yeah.
He's always thinking
with the candles.
Yeah.
That's funny.
With the wand.
Yeah, with the wand. Yeah, absolutely. Well, ladies, I have to get going.
I have to do.
Me too. But this was so much fun.
It was. It was really good
for coming on.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies, for inviting me. Yeah, anytime. I'd be happy to come on for, even if it's like any of like conspiracy talk. Get me on for conspiracy talk.
Definitely. We'll have to have a large panel for the next one.
I know. Because I do watch all of those like YouTube videos on like the Anunnaki and aliens and conspiracies and what's hidden underneath the pyramids and all that stuff.
Yes.
That's
There's
so fun.
So much.
All right. We should set that up.
Yep. Sounds good.
Yeah, that would be so much fun.
Wow.
Hey, just as a side note, can somebody the chat, can somebody put a hello in the right one? Because I have like 15 chats on my phone of the same people. I didn't create it.
Of the what?
On Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Tony left 2 of the chats, and that's what brought it up to my feed. So I don't know which one to post in.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you to everybody.
Oh, I
It's
can't wait to
delete
watch
them all and
it.
create a new one.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, so happy to have you on, Marissa. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's an idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why. Maybe I hit something. That could be it.
Thank you for being here, Sonia.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Sonia. I know. I think Sonia has a video out. I haven't watched either. I love her
Yeah.
videos.
I know. I mean, I haven't been able to catch up on vacation, so it's been hard. I'm
Yep.
so busy all day. So
Thank you, Darla. Yes.
All right, ladies. Have a great day. Have a good
thank you.
weekend.
You too.
Everybody be well.
Likewise.
Bye,
Thank
friend.
you. Bye, guys.
Bye.